Aim at a high mark. You might not hit it the first time or the second time, but eventually you will hit it. And I feel that especially with freelancing, persistence is really key. Being able to consistently apply your marketing method and improve your craft and your skill can go a long way towards helping you build a business.
Welcome to the Laws of Business podcast. Here, we will share the skills you need to make your business a success. Learn about goal setting, productivity, time management, marketing, and much more. Hear inspiring stories with today's best business leaders and join a hub of thousands of passionate entrepreneurs across the world. And now, here's your host, Jamil Jama.
Hi there. If you would like to start a career in freelance writing and get paid quick, then this is the interview for you. I'll be talking to Laura Pennington on how somebody can start a freelance writing career and get paid quick. If you enjoy this interview, please share it with anybody you think this will benefit. Also, please leave a comment in the comment section and subscribe. Hello everybody, I'm Jamil Jama and this is the Law of Business podcast. Today we have a real special guest, Laura Pennington. Laura Pennington is a six-figure freelance writer. Laura Pennington left her job as an inner city speaker to pursue her dream of writing full-time. Since 2013, she's been an SEO freelance writer and now teaches others how to do the same. She's the owner of Six-Figure Writing Secret. Laura Pennington ranked #1 legal writer on Freelance and Upwork. Laura was also featured in Business Insider, Huffington Post, Writers Weekly. It's a real pleasure to welcome Laura Pennington. How's it going, Laura?
Hi, thanks for having me. It's going well.
First of all, Laura, I want to thank you so much for taking your time out to do this interview. Appreciate it so much.
Sure, I'm happy to be here.
I use freelancers myself. I usually use Fiverr and sometimes I use Elance. But for anybody who doesn't know what a freelancer is, can you please explain what a freelancer is?
Sure. A freelancer is anyone who does a specific set of skills. Usually it's a virtual assistant, a writer, a graphic designer, web developer, voiceover artist. All of those different types of people can be freelancers. It basically means that they don't work for one company. Instead, they will have many clients where they're only brought in to do a specific project or maybe even work on retainer for that client, but they don't work solely with one person.
And you've been doing this since 2013, like full time, right?
Yes, I started full time in 2013.
And is it like it's basically self-employment, really, isn't it? You just work from home. You can be like a digital nomad.
Yes, and I do take advantage of that. I travel quite a bit. My fiance is in the military, so we're actually getting ready to move for the 5th time. We'll be doing that in 2 weeks. So we move often. So to be able to set up somewhere new relatively quickly is great.
And do you only do freelance writing? Because you mentioned there's digital, there's voiceover experts, there's people who do designing, web designers, etc. You only do writing?
No, I do a variety of different things. About 80% of my freelance work is writing, but I also do some social media management. I am helping people put together their first online course as far as editing the material and getting it ready to upload. I have a client who has me manage their Trello workflow board for a major organization. Sometimes I even get brought in by other companies like TrueCar or Microsoft to build a digital team of freelancers for them as well. So that's one of the things I like about freelancing. You get to do a lot of different things.
You work for Microsoft. You done some freelance work for Microsoft.
I have. I built a team of software help article writers for them.
That's awesome. That's major credibility too.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But not all freelancers are good, because not all of them are good, because I've used some and I wasn't really happy with their services. Like I spent like $1,400 on a web designer one time. I know you can get a lot cheaper than that. I mean, a lot inexpensive than that. But not all freelancers are good. How do people find a good freelancer? What do they look? You had good reviews, you had good 5 stars, but when it comes to the work, it wasn't good.
You need to take a look at people's work samples. So not only the testimonials or the comments they have from past clients, but the actual work samples they're sharing with you. So if they're a web designer, they should show you a number of different websites that they have actually built completely by themselves. If it's a writer, you want to see their writing samples, because that's going to be an indication of their true level of talent, as well as the tone and the style of the work. And then as the client, you also have a responsibility to make it crystal clear what your instructions are, what you are and are not looking for. That's a good way to weed out somebody who's not a good fit.
Thank you. Thank you for that, Laura.
Mm-hmm.
You also have a digital team, right? How does someone hire a digital team?
You need to figure out, first of all, what you're doing in your business that is not making you money, but is taking a lot of your time. A great example for me is editing my podcast or social media management. Those are just really time-consuming tasks, but they're not generating revenue for my business. So for me to be doing it instead of helping my clients directly is costing me money because I only have so many hours in a day. So I always look for tasks that I don't know how to do, that I don't like doing and that are not generating revenue for my business, those are the first things that should be outsourced. So right now I have about 5 to 6 people on my team. Not all of them are working kind of consistently, but it just sort of depends on the needs of your business and what you really should and should not be doing.
So how can someone launch a freelance career? What are the steps you took and you teach?
First, you need to find out what you're good at and what's something that you like doing, because this is going to be a paycheck that you create for yourself. So you need to feel pretty passionate about the freelance services you're offering, whatever those are. The next thing you need to do is to come up with work samples and a pitch, because this is going to be what communicates everything to your potential clients. It's why your clients should hire you. The work samples indicate the quality of the work that you do. It's worth putting in some time on both of those elements, because 9 times out of 10, when a freelancer comes to me and says, hey, I'm pitching everywhere, I'm sending cold emails, I'm networking, I'm applying to jobs on Upwork, I'm getting nothing back in return, usually it's because there's something wrong with their proposals or their samples that can be fixed pretty quickly.
And do you need virtual assistants? I'm guessing you need a lot of virtual assistants, right? Or just 1 or 2?
Yes, I have, I would say, about 3 virtual assistants. Well, probably more like 5. Not, like I said, not all of them are doing everything consistently. I have an online business manager and I have a graphic person on my team. They do quite a bit of consistent work for me. But then sometimes we'll have other people. I have a podcast editor and he's working kind of regularly, but not that many hours per week. So it just really depends on what are you doing in your business that is just time consuming, but is not really making you money. You've got to think about the hourly rate that you charge to your clients. And if you can outsource that to somebody else to do it less expensively, they may even do it better than you do.
That's great. Thanks, Laura. And how do people get paid to write? Like what would they need to?
In order to get paid to write, you need to have a basic writing talent. You need to be able to understand grammar and whatever language you're writing in. You should know the rules of structure and flow. Writing for the web is quite a bit different than writing for anything else. So you need to decide what kind of industry you're going to target, what type of projects to work on. And then to land clients, you need to be crystal clear about what you're offering and who you are. So since my niche target market is attorneys, I speak specifically about what I can do for attorneys and what past attorneys have had as far as experience in working with me. But you need to be really clear about your offer and what they stand to benefit by working with you.
So do you need some sort of certificate, like an English certificate saying that your English speaking skills is good and writing skills is good and grammar is good?
No, I don't have that. I don't think you need that. What can communicate that ability, however, are your work samples. That's why you need to put some time into creating some, it doesn't have to be something you've been paid to write. It can be anything that you put together to showcase your work, but that will work in lieu of a certificate.
Because seeing is believing, right?
Correct.
So, Laura, why is now the ideal time to become a freelance writer?
Now is the ideal time to become a freelance writer because more companies than ever are interested in working with freelancers, especially as telecommuting gets more popular. People are becoming more comfortable with the idea of outsourcing to freelancers specifically. It's usually less expensive for them than having an in-house freelancer when they don't have enough work for somebody who'd be on a salary. But there's such a demand for it that now is the time to begin sharpening your skills and pitching as a freelancer if it appeals to you.
Definitely, because like I said earlier, I use a lot of freelancers myself, and it definitely helps, and it's very inexpensive as well. And talking about it being inexpensive, Laura, how does somebody earn 6 figures from freelancing when it's so most of the time it's inexpensive?
Well, and it depends on the freelance service that's being offered as far as it being inexpensive. There are certain things that will always be more expensive than others. A web developer that has an extensive background in a particular type of software application can charge a lot more. In order to make the 6-figure mark, you have to be crystal clear about who you're working with. You have to say no to people who are not the right fit. And the ideal situation is getting people on a retainer agreement so that you can predict your income.
What are the 3 things that anyone must do before launching a freelance career?
The first thing you need to do is to decide what you're good at. What are the skills that you already have that you can bring into the freelancing world? The second thing you need to do is to put together basically your pitch and your working samples that you're going to share with potential clients. And then that third element is coming up with a marketing plan. How are you going to land your clients? LinkedIn, Facebook groups, job boards like Upwork or Fiverr? Are you going to call people? And then you put that into action.
Laura, before you became a freelance writer, you was a inner city speaker. Was that your job, right? Was that a job or was that a business? It was a job, wasn't it?
No, I was actually a teacher in the inner city. I worked in middle school teaching 7th grade social studies.
And how much has freelancing changed your life since?
Oh, it's changed a lot. I used to work 18 hours a day. I definitely don't do that anymore. All of my vacations and everything were strictly scheduled because I was on the school's calendar and not mine. And it's a lot less stressful. And I also feel a lot more excited about my work in the morning.
So you can get to go to you can get to go to holidays when you want, or are you working every day, or do you take a lot of time off?
Well, it depends on the season quite a bit too. So the summer is sort of a dead time for freelancing, as are the months of December and January. So I do tend to schedule my vacations during those times because I already know there's less demand for work. But generally, I just flex my schedule around how many clients I have at that time and how much work I have to do. But I definitely don't work anywhere near the hours that I was putting in as a teacher.
You definitely have to work as well, definitely. Because some people, they think when they become internet marketers or affiliate marketers or freelancers, they think it's just work little and then get a lot of money. But it's not always like that. I've noticed.
Right. You do have to put in some work.
So Laura, what is your favorite quote?
One of my favorite quotes is from my childhood hero, Annie Oakley, and it's aim at a high mark. You might not hit it the first time or the second time, but eventually you will hit it. And I feel that especially with freelancing, persistence is really key. Being able to consistently apply your marketing method and improve your craft and your skill can go a long way towards helping you build a business.
And would you recommend any books for freelancing?
Yes, there's a book by my mentor, Yawanda Black, and it's called The Freelancer's Guide to Success. I actually contributed a chapter in the book, and there's some really wonderful advice in there from a number of different people who have built a successful freelance writing career. And she's been doing it for 20 years, so it's all of her advice as well.
And where can people find you, Laura?
I have two websites. One is the name of my podcast, betterbizacademy.com. And for writing specific advice, that's at sixfigurewritingsecrets.com, all spelled out.
Laura, I want to thank you so much again for taking your time out to do this interview. Appreciate it so much.
Thank you.
And I want to thank all the listeners for listening. And I'm Jamil Jama. This is the Law of Business podcast, and that was Laura Pennington.
Thanks for listening to the Laws of Business podcast. Find out more about us on thelawsofbusiness.com. Thank you for being a part of our journey.